We have got some contribution for the homework, which was last week. We set it the numbers, al-uqud, the 10, the numbers in the Quran that have 10, uh, 10 and a part of that. Then do go ahead and add those, inshallah, to the chat. Jazakumullahu khairan. The only thing with the ayat is that you can't write them in English, as that's not uh, the like Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz rahimahullah said this is not something which we should do. And okay, the reference is Surah Al-A'raf, ayah 142. Okay, yeah, okay. Surah Al-Anfal 65, يا أيها النبي حرض المؤمنين على القتال إن يكن منكم 20 صابرون يغلبوا 200. أحسنت، جزاك الله خيرا. وإن يكن منكم 100 يغلبوا 2000 بإذن الله. Isn't it? ألفا من الذين كفروا بأنهم قوم لا يفقهون. الأحقاف ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه إحسانا حملته أمه كرها ووضعته كرها وحمله وفصاله 30 شهرا. ما شاء الله, very nice. Send these answers to the whole group because you're sending them only to the panelists, so only we can see them. But if you send them to panelists and attendees, then everyone will be able to see your answers and benefit from that, inshallah. طيب. So while you're all sending those messages to panelists and attendees, we can continue from where we left off. Apologies, we have started late today. We lost a big portion of the lesson, and so it would have been nice to have been able to go through the ayat and discuss some of those meanings. قدر الله شاء فعل. We will, inshallah, at least if you have them in front of you, you can view them yourselves. جزاكم الله خيرا. طيب. We got to the point in الدرس الثالث والعشرون. There it is. He said, يدخل أحد المدرسين الجدد. يدخل أحد المدرسين الجدد. The Mudarris said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The Tullab answered, Wa alaikum assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban. Ya Ustadu. The Mudarris says, Ashkurukum ya ikhwanu. Kam taliban fi faslikum hadha. Did we read this part of the lesson? I think we may have. The question earlier, one of the brothers asked a question in the chat, and he said, why is the word khairan mansub when we say jazakallahu khairan? And in actual fact, the question should rather be, why is ahlan and sahlan and marhaban, why are these mansub? Because if you look at jazakallahu khairan, jazakallahu khairan, you will see that there is a fi'l, jaza, which is written with the alif maqsoor, like with the ya, with one that looks like a ya, if it's alone. Jaza. And lafdul jalala is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the fa'il, is the dua is that Allah rewards, and then ka, you. So may Allah give you reward. So this kaf, this is maf'ulun bihi, and this is fi mahalli nasb. Okay, fi mahalli nasb, mansub. Then you have over here khayran. So why is this mansub? You're asking Allah to reward you. Allah reward you. Now, what would you like Allah to reward this person with? So, if you said, for example, Jazakallahu Jannatan, may Allah reward you with paradise. So, this could be known as a second maf'ul, maf'ul al-thani. I haven't actually checked it, but there is more than one possibility. It's possible that this could be a maf'ul al-thani, because some verbs they are transitive or متأدي إلى مفعولين. متأدي إلى مفعولين. They create two maf'uls. Okay, and I'm not sure if this is one of those examples. If it is, then this khayran, this would be al-maf'ul al-thani. Or is it tamyiz, which is differentiating? You're asking Allah to reward this person by saying jazaka, like you're saying jazallahu, yeah, anta or ka or iyaka. So jazakallahu, this is may Allah reward you. What may He reward you? Khayran. And this khayran over here, the fact that it's nakira with alif or lam, it encompasses every form of khair. Is much more comprehensive than saying Jazakallahu alfa khair, alfa khairin. That will reward you with 1,000 goods. Yeah, forms of good. Because khairan, this is nakira fi siyaqi talab. This is nakira fi siyaqi talab. This is in the form of a dua, and it's nakira. So this will be it will be comprehensive and inclusive. جيد. طيب. And then أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا. This basically is mansub due to a fi'l which is muqaddar. Okay, mansub لفعل muqaddar. And it would be, for example, نؤهلك أهلا, or something like that. Another time knows best. طيب. If we can have a couple of brothers reading, if you could put your hand up if you're willing to read. Okay, Azhar, we've got a reader there and a couple more readers we need. Azhar, if you could start reading Al-Mudarrisu, please, and Numair, please read the person who's talking to the Mudarris. Go ahead. Go ahead, Akhi. So Numair is Umar, and Azhar is Al-Mudarrisu. Azhar, Azhar Basharat, you put your hand up to read, yeah? Is that right?
Yeah. أشكركم يا إخوان كم طالبا في فصلكم هذا.
بارك الله فيك. تفضل أخي.
فيه 40 طالبا.
جيد.
المدرس ولكنني أرى خمسة وعشرين.
خمسة وعشرين.
25 طالبا فقط فأين الآخرون.
أحسنت. So over here, he said, ولكنني أرى. And this أرى, this is
مفعول به.
فعل. This is فعل. جيد. And the فاعل is
مستتر.
is
هاي.
ضمير مستتر تقديره أنا. أنا. He means أنا أرى. So I can see, and then he comes with this number, which is mansub, خمسة. Why is it mansub? Because it is مفعول به. And because it is in the 20s, or it's past the number 19, okay, it's past the number 19, but up to from 11 to 19, it's going to be مبني على فتح الجزئين 11. Yeah. And except for number 12, 13 14. Okay. When it comes past 20, then everything becomes mansub, and this is tamyiz. So this is mansub على أنه tamyiz. خمسة. Then he said wa. This waw is going to be atf. So 20 is also mansub, following on from the خمسة. So أرى خمسة وعشرين. So this is mansub وعلامة نصبه الياء 20. جيد. And then he said طالبا, which is طالبا, which is tamyiz. And you know that tamyiz, when it comes to the numbers, is mufrad, is nakira, and it's mansub. He said أين الآخرون. الآخرون, this is the plural of
آخر.
آخر. أحسنت. آخر or الآخر. جيد. And then the plural is simply by adding الواو والنون. So this is actually جمع مذكر سالم. جمع مذكر سالم. So making that mansub or majroor would be آخرين. الآخرين. Okay, Omar says, تفضل أخي.
هم غائبون اليوم.
بارك الله فيك. So غائبون, this is جمع. The mufrad is
غائب.
غائب. أحسنت. غائب. And this جمع مذكر is جمع مذكر سالم. So simply by adding waw and noon, it becomes plural. غائبون. And what is the alamatul raf'i in this word? It is not, don't say it's the noon. The noon is only alamatul raf'i in the fi'l, in the af'al, al-af'al al-khamsa. Yeah. تفعلون, يفعلون, تفعلين. And then there's two we haven't studied yet. We're going to study them. تفعلان, يفعلان. It is muthanna, for dual. That noon at the end of that verb, this is alamatu al-raf', ثبوت النون. And alamatu al-jazm is حذف النون. As for this word here, غائبون, الآخرون, أربعون, the waw, this is the alamatul raf'. This is the alamatul raf'. What's the proof that the waw is alamatul raf'? How do we know? Anybody?
When it's majroor or mansub, wow, instead of ya will come.
Ahsant, akhi Habib. That's correct. Because when this word is in a situation of being mansub or majroor, it's the waw that changes, and it changes into a ya. It becomes akharina, arba'ina, and you just saw example ishrina. So now you know that it was the waw that was showing rafa, and now the ya is representing nasb, or it could also represent jar. Is that clear, inshallah? طيب. تفضل أخي أزهر.
المدرس أي الكتاب تقرؤون؟
Not أيل.
أي كتاب تقرؤون؟
Yeah, because if you see, there's a shadda there, and the sign is on top of the shadda, so this is a fatha. If the sign was underneath, then this, if the sign was here, then this would be a kasra.
نعم.
Okay, so why is this mansub?
مضاف.
Now, mudaf doesn't make anything mansub, majroor, or it's just mudaf means that is, there's no alif or lam, and there's only one sign. There's no tanween. That's mudaf. The rules of mudaf, remember two things: no alif or lam, and no tanween. Nothing to do with majroor, mansub, or marfu'. My question is,
مفعول به.
why is this word mansub? And
مفعول به.
Habib says it's maf'ulun bihi. And somebody will say, well, I can't see the fi'l or the fa'il before it.
تقرؤون.
Barakallahu feek. Ahsant. And it's actually after it. Why? Because taqra'una, this is the fi'l, and the fa'il in this case is the waw al-jama'ah, antum. Jayid? That's the fi'l and the fa'il. So why has it come after the maf'ulun bihi? We learned before that the typical order, the correct order, or the al-asl, the base order is fi'l followed by fa'il, unless it's embedded and it's the mir mustatir, and then maf'ulun bihi. So why in this situation do we have maf'ulun bihi ayya kitabin, and then fi'l and fa'il? Somebody answer that, please.
Sir, ayya means which. Maybe this is because of question.
أحسن الله إليك أخي عادل جزاك الله خيرا. This is because أي من أدوات الاستفهام. It is from those words which are used as a tool to ask a question. This is a question word. And أدوات الاستفهام لها حق الصدارة. This is how you say it. أدوات الاستفهام لها حق الصدارة. The words which begin a question, they have the right to come first. As-sadara means to come in the front, to precede everyone else. Okay? So that's the reason why there is a battle here between maf'ulun bihi and the Adatul istifham. Adatul istifham, the tool of questioning, or the question word. And question word has to come in the front. We know from many other examples that maf'ulun bihi can change its place. It's more flexible. So that's the reason why ayya, which is maf'ulun bihi, it came before the fi'l and the fa'il, because it's a question word. Is that clear, everybody?
نعم.
Alhamdulillah.
بارك الله فيك. Ustaz,
تفضل أخي.
أي كتاب
what if one said تقرؤون أي كتاب? Would that be correct?
Allahu A'lam. I feel from hearing it, but that is correct. I don't have the rules. I don't have that rule in front of me. There are some, so that basically it's going to be jawazan. It's going to be jawazan. So there are some adat al-istifham which laha haqqu sadara, and then it's wajib to put them in the front. And like, for example, hal and the alif al-istifham or hamza al-istifham. And others, like this one, as you gave the example, that could be where it's jaiz to put it in both places. But the question word takes the priority to come first. And Allah knows best. But if I get some more clarity on that, I will share it with you. Bi'idhnillah. Tamyiz, Zain, means to differentiate. To differentiate between two things. Okay? Like, khamsatan wa ishrin. Khamsatan wa ishrina. Khamsatan wa ishrina what? Khamsatan, I'll give you 25. If you do a deal and you want to sell something to somebody, he says, I'll give you 25. If you walk away, he can give you 25 anything. 25 punches. He'll take your car for 25 punches. So, yeah, tamyiz means to, 25 marbles. And then he'll take your very expensive pen, for example. So, yeah, tamyiz means to identify what is that thing. 25 what? 25 students, 25 classrooms, 25 people. طيب.
Ustaz, can you repeat? Yeah, sorry. Can you repeat this Arab of this sentence again, please?
أي كتاب تقرؤون.
Yeah.
أي مفعول به مقدم.
Yeah.
هو منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة. وهو مضاف. كتاب مضاف إليه. تقرؤون. تقرأ فعل. basically تقرؤون فعل وفاعل. واو الجماعة.
Fill file.
جيد.
When I said to you this is mudaf and you said no?
Because so basically if I say to you what's your name and you say I'm 47 years old, the answer doesn't match the question. So if I say to you how old are you, you told me my name is Azhar Basharat, the question, the answer doesn't match the question. So I said to you, why is it mansoob? And you said this is mudaf.
Okay. Aywa.
So being mudaf doesn't affect mansoob, majroor or marfu.
Okay.
What does? Other things like the fi'l, like being in the beginning of a sentence, mubtada, like having harful jar before it, like being mudafun ilayhi. Mudafun ilayhi, if I said, why is kitabin majroor? The answer can be, this is because it's mudafun ilayhi.
Okay.
Because mudafun ilayhi, that is the reason. Because that is why it's majroor. If I say to you, why does this word have tanween? The answer is not because it's mudafun ilayhi. The answer is because it's nakira. There's no alif or lam.
Okay. Subhanallah.
You get that?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why your answer wasn't correct, because it didn't match the question.
All right. Jazakallah.
When you came and you asked me, what is the i'rab? And I said, this is maf'ulun bihi and is mudaf. They're talking about the position of the word in the sentence, how it relates to the other words. Yes, now it's relevant to say that this is mudaf. Hafadhakallah, barakallahu feek.
Jazakallah khair.
Allah yabarak feek. Good question. Jazakallah khair. Tayyib. Please continue reading, Akhi Numair.
نقرأ هذا الكتاب اسمه قصص النبيين.
Barakallahu feek. Why لماذا الكتاب منصوب؟
بدل
أحسنت.
بدل
أحسنت.
جزاك الله خير.
بدل من ماذا؟
هذا أن الكتاب again.
هذا is منصوب because it's مفعول به and الكتاب is بدل of هذا. أحسن الله إليك. He said the question was, which book are you reading? أي كتاب تقرؤون? Which book are you reading? Talking to the students. One of them said نقرأ هذا الكتاب. We're reading this book. Obviously he's showing them in the book. He says اسمه قصص النبيين. قصص النبيين. قصص means this is plural جمع. مفرده
قصة.
قصة. قصة. Can anyone remember this word in the Quran anywhere?
Surah Yusuf. Yes.
أيوة. Even though that one is قصص.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
What's the ayah? إنا نقص عليك أحسن القصص.
أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك بالقرآن.
أيوة تفضل. نحن نقص عليك.
نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن.
أحسنت بارك الله فيك. But Azhar's voice has changed.
This is my son. He's just he knew that I am.
اللهم بارك لك. ما شاء الله تبارك الله. What's your son's name?
Hassan.
أيوة الحمد لله.
Muhammad Hassan.
أنت أبو الحسن. That's right. You normally sign him with Abu Hassan, right?
Yes.
أحسنتم جميعا.
جزاك الله خير.
نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص. So قصص is the plural of قصة, which means story, stories. النبيين. This is جمع مذكر سالم. نبي عفوا نبي نون با يا نبي, and you make it plural, make it jam', and it becomes nabiyuna, and the shadda is there. See, the shadda is still there. Nabiyun, nabiyuna, nabiyuna. Now, this one is nabiyina. The reason?
مضاف إليه.
مفعول به.
No, it's not مفعول به because there's no fi'l. مفعول به is going to be with a fi'l, right? But this is مضاف إليه. قصص النبيين. So it's مجرور. مضاف إلى قصص. مضاف إلى قصص. That's the reason قصص has one dhamma and no alif lam. If I said to you, and we used to ask these questions when we were doing book 1, why does this word have only one dhamma even though there's no alif lam? And the answer would be because it's mudaf. So then the next question would be, so if this is mudaf, where's the mudafun ilayhi? And everyone would say an-nabiyina. So now you know that this ya is the ya of what?
Jar.
أحسن الله إليك. Ya of jar. طيب. Al-Mudarris said,
Al-Mudarrisu. Liman huwa.
Liman. Now you know this from book 1, that this means who does it belong to? But this also means who authored it. Who is the author? Liman huwa means whose is it, meaning who wrote it. The Talib said,
هو لفضيلة الشيخ أبي الحسن الندوي
Nadawi.
ندوي.
طيب, Jazakallah khairan. So here you have this lam, li. Then you have this kasra, fadilati. Why only one kasra?
لام حرف جر.
No, again, that's a wrong answer to the wrong question.
عفوا.
That's a mismatch of answer because the harful jar will not make one kasra. I didn't say why is it majroor, then you'll say lam. I said why is it only one kasra?
مضاف.
Is it?
It's because it's mudaf. Because it's mudaf. Is that clear, Akhi?
Yeah. نعم جزاك الله خير.
طيب. Adil, did you get the mic again? You asked for the mic. Oh, he's left. I think he's having connectivity issues coming. And there he is. Coming and going. طيب. Why only one kasra? Because it's mudaf. Where's the mudaf ilayhi? Ash-shaykhi. So, where is this word?
It is badal.
Barakallahu feek. This is badal from ash-shaykhi. Why does it have a ya on it? Because the word is supposed to be abin.
Because it's from among those 5 words. Abi, Akhi.
That's true, but why it has the ya appeared over here?
It's a ملكية.
Ya al-mutakallim. Ya al-mutakallim.
No. He didn't say my father.
Is it because Ibn, like Ibn, we said it before?
Guys. This is a person called Adnan speaking, and the author is not his father. It's not Abi, my father. He said, somebody said, who is it? He said, Huwa lifadilati shaykhi Abi al-Hasani.
His father.
Ya al-majroor. Ya al-majroor.
Aywa, this is Ya al-Jar. Why is it Jar? Why is it showing up, as the brother said? Because it's from the 5 words that we learned about. Abu, Akhu, Dhu.
As it is being the badal for ash-shaykhi.
It is. That's the reason. I said the reason why it's majroor is because it's a sheikh, because it's badal of sheikh. But ab is majroor with this kasra usually. We don't normally say, dhahabtu ila. So, for example, you went to see a father. Dhahabtu ila abin. You say that. You won't say abi, because that means my father. So here, why has the ya appeared? Because it is mudaf, and al-Hasani is mudafun ilayhi. This sentence is really important to understand the Arab. It's also important for another reason, which I'll tell you about in a second, inshallah. Huwa li. So this lam of jar, it created the kasra. This is mudaf. Mudafun ilayhi created another kasra, a shaykhi. Abi, this is badal from shaykhi, so it's majroor. And because it's mudaf, the ya came. Al-Hasani is mudaf ilayhi, so it's majroor. An-Nadawi, this is na'at or a nisbah of, or an-Nadawi could either be na'at of the whole name, naam, and describing the person's town or his country, or Allah knows best. Is that clear, everybody? Can you put your hand up if that's clear? If I see 5 hands, I'm happy to go. Otherwise, I'll do it again.
I think please repeat again.
Oh, okay. I'll do it once more, and then by watching the recording, inshallah, if you didn't get it, then watching the recording will help you. This author of the book Qasas al-Nabiyyin, this book used to be taught in Al-Jamia Islamiyah back in the day when Al-Ikhwan al-Muslimun were unheard of, or they were not known as bad people. People thought they were good, and not much was known about Sayyid Qutb. And people like Sheikh Abdullah Darwish, rahimahullah ta'ala, if I'm not mistaken with his name, and people like Sheikh Rabi' bin Hadi al-Madkhali, hafidhahullah ta'ala, they began to expose Al-Ikhwan al-Muslimun and expose Sayyid Qutb and show that these people, they are enemies of Islam. They have brought a new ideology from other concepts of communism and socialism and Marxism and various things. And they've tried to mix it with Islam to bring a new product in the name of Islam. They were looking like Muslims. They were, and they changed so many things around the world, Muslim world, making things. They made groups and parties the norm. Groups and parties and factions, al-ahzab, it became the norm. Like if you want to do anything, you have to do it in a group. If you want to have a group, then you have to have a leader. So every group has to have an Amir. Abul Hasan al-Nadawi is from those people, from that group of Al-Ikhwan Muslimun, but the Indian version. And Sayyid Qutb, he wrote about him and he praised him in so many places. Okay. Now, back in the day, Jamia Islamiyah was opened in 1960, or if I'm not mistaken, yes, 1960. So that day, the knowledge about Ikhwan was little. Rather, at that time, they had good thoughts about the people of Egypt and King Faisal and these people. They were bringing them into the country thinking that these are the scholars that are going to educate us. When they alhamdulillah, people like Sheikh Muhammad al-Banna, rahimahullah, he came as well from Egypt. He was Salafi. He was teaching the correct understanding. Sheikh al-Albani was Salafi. He was teaching the correct understanding. Sheikh Muhammad Amin al-Shanqiti, Al-Amin, not the Mukhtar, the one who today who has got issues with various points. Muhammad al-Amin al-Shanqiti, the one who wrote Al-Adwa al-Bayan, he was teaching. These people, they bought Sheikh Muhammad Aman al-Jami, rahimahullah, these scholars, they brought Salafiyya to Saudi Arabia and taught it. And also there were scholars that were still upon the da'wah of Imam Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. They were in Najd and they were learning and they were teaching. The Imam Muhammad Abdul Wahhab, his children, his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, that was going on. That teachings were going on. Kitab al-Tawheed, the Sharh of Kitab al-Tawheed, and those other books. These were all being taught. But there suddenly became a huge influx of these people mainly from Egypt, because Sayyid Qutb and those people were from there. Muhammad Qutb came across over here. He began to spread the filth of those ideologies. Anyway, I've gone far away from where I wanted to go, but the point was Abu al-Hasan al-Nadawi's book was being taught in Jamia Islamiyah. Alhamdulillah, today I asked somebody and they told me that this book has been removed from the curriculum. It's no longer being taught. No. And so that's the reason why it's being mentioned in this lesson, because people were reading it to learn Arabic, and it was a reference point for hard words in Arabic and stuff like that. So anyway, we'll stop there. The Iqama has gone in Jeddah. We'll take it from here. Why do we need? Why was this book mentioned? Because the book was being taught to these Arabic students of Madeenah Book 2, and the author wanted to speak about the word khamseen and thalathan wa khamseen and tis'oon and safha, page number. Okay? قدر الله ما شاء فعل. He could have done it with the name of any book. And Allah Ta'ala knows best. We'll stop there and continue from this point next lesson بإذن الله تعالى. والله أعلم وصلى اللهم وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abu Maymun asked, can we safely say that Sayyid Qutb and others started Al-Hizbiyya? Hizbiyya started from the beginning of the deviant sects, okay, the firaq. But in this particular form of ugly Hizbiyya, which was spread by Ikhwan Muslimun, yes, Sayyid Qutb, Hassan al-Banna, and these types of people were the ones right behind it.
Thank you for clarifying that. Shukran.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خير وبارك الله فيك.
That was indeed a very, very, very beneficial and insightful points, especially the bits about the Madeenah University which you mentioned. It was really insightful. جزاك الله.
حفظك الله حفظك الله بارك الله فيك. طيب السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Just to remind the brothers, I mean, we have just received the schedule for the winter conference, which is going to start from Thursday, inshallah, which is tomorrow. So we would, request all the brothers and sisters to take your time out and, try and benefit from this conference as much as possible. There are a number of speakers who will be delivering lectures, and the topics are very, very relevant to our times, and very challenging times which we all are facing, in the different places we live in. So we would highly recommend, if the brothers and sisters could take your time out, properly plan your day, and try and listen to the lectures. And the schedule is out. We will share the schedule in the WhatsApp groups and everywhere. So try and take the most benefit out of it, inshallah.
Thank you, shukran. I'll make sure.
جزاك الله خير يا أخي محمد مزمل.
Assalamu alaikum.